Welcome to Design Diary, the podcast where you get to look inside my board game design notebook as well as what's going on inside my head. We look at a new word each day from the sense of mechanics, tone, theme, or inspiration for a full game. Today's word is Woolgathering, indulgence in idle daydreaming. And my first thought on this was that woolgathering could be an alternate name for this podcast. It's exactly what I'm doing here on a daily basis, is just gathering the wool as I daydream about game concepts and designs. And so I wanted to look at the root of daydreaming, because there's something about daydreaming that is almost exclusively positive. Usually a dream that is bad is called a nightmare, but a daydream is, you're usually well aware of what you're doing, and you're kind of, pondering the what if, dreaming about the what ifs. It's always just, to me, it's wishful thinking. And wishful thinking is rarely, negative. So I started to think about what ifs, and that being the concept of whatever this becomes in a game. And I like the idea of a game that's so flexible that it could start off with a cheat code of sorts that changes everything you know and everything that you've gotten accustomed to. So, cheat code, unlimited money. What if we had unlimited money? So if it's a game where you are purchasing items, or the shift is no longer what can you afford, but how well you can use your time and manage your purchases. A little bit about yesterday's podcast with managing purchases, but in a different way. I think of a game like Tony's Treasures, which is one that came into one of our contests, where it's an auction style game, but you have unlimited money. And in the end, the player that spent the most money is out of the game, so there is still a limitation to it. But I was thinking, if it's a game where there's unlimited money and other things going on, the first thing you do is you start focusing on the other things and how the money can help those. But you start looking at the timing. Timing becomes important. What if we had infinite lives? Cheat code. Infinite lives. Infinity. Whatever the cheat code would be. I was trying to remember the Mike Tyson Punch-Out code that I used to know for years. 00737359963. Something like that. I might have the first three wrong. If you had infinite lives, a game about eliminating your opponent is no longer about eliminating them, but it might be to weaken them to the point where they are still technically alive, but at the weakest part of it. So getting them so low without delivering that final blow of sorts. Now on the opposite side, what if we had unlimited power? You can't knock them down. If you can't knock them down, you can't lose a life. But I'm going to use my power to, impact things that aren't you. Whatever your resources are, whatever you've built up. And just make it so your power isn't helpful. I'm going to use my power to build up my own things without losing any stamina. Just things like that. So I twisted this into like a 4X style game where I'm knocking things over. Where one of the 4 X's is no longer a factor. So, the cheat code is, what if we have infinite lives? At that point, the exterminate is no longer a factor. So, it's a 4X minus 1. But that 1 changes every game. Which I think is awesome, because it changes your play style, first and foremost. Makes you adapt. I think that if you play with the same group all the time, that could be really exciting, just in how it's different each time. So then with another cheat code, like what if we all had tiny heads? I wrote that one down. That would just be funny. Is there any other point to a tiny head cheat code? Maybe, if it's like a shooter, you have less, you're less of a target. But then there's the big head cheat codes. There's so many of them. Speed, you have unlimited speed, which would twist into something with, like, changing the way turns work, or making something real time, or, I don't know that it should add new rules to a game. I mean, specifically in this 4X idea. But what if you have unlimited speed in a different game that you didn't have, in the last time you played it, and you won't have on the next time you play it? It just really keeps you on your toes. So I like that creative gameplay, and I like it whittled down into a 4X -1. And I feel like a couple of these ideas this week have been, I guess I'm just in a better place this week, but I have a couple ideas that I really, really like, and I'm excited to see if I can eventually do something with them. So, short episode, but a bunch of questions, and I want to ask those questions. What if you had unlimited money? What if you had infinite lives? What if you had unlimited power? And what if you had tiny heads? What do you do with that in a game? And throw all that away, what does Woolgathering inspire? So, thanks again. This is today's episode of Design Diary, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.